What up? Welcome back to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, it's going to be another DC Multiverse collection update. Now, before I get started on what I picked up this haul, let's go ahead and do McFarlane News. Now, it has been a little quiet for McFarlane. The only news I've heard about the Kickstarter was that they are starting to release some tracking numbers here in the States. And then he did put out some news that for the Taiwan collectors, because the Taiwan collectors, like the comic book collectors, and they're really big into figures, their orders got stopped at customs, and there's like a delay. They're trying to figure something out, so sucks for them. They're probably gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get their Spawn Kickstarter stuff, but hopefully they'll get it all before too long. The only other thing that I've been thinking about is the Batman Beyond that McFarlane's is set to release. Now, they did put the pre-orders at Target, and I went ahead and I only pre-ordered one because I had I had some kind of confusion, because the first images that they released, you could see on the Batman Beyond's face or mask that you could see like the human features, like a nose and the mouth. And then on the actual like Target where I did the pre-order, he has like his whole face covered, like kind of like a sheet, like, you know, like he's covered from here. So then I thought, well, it's going to be two different ones, you know, the single release and then the release that's going to be the Build-A-Figure that McFarlane showed us. But in the image of that one, he had his face covered as well. So I don't know what variant that the one with the features is going to be. But I guess in the end, we'll figure it out later on. And if there's a different a head sculpt, then of course I'll be getting a couple of each of those. So I'm sick like that.
God, you're sick.
But anyways, aside from that, that's pretty much it. You know, we're waiting for our Kickstarter stuff, and of course the figures I'm waiting for is the John Stewart Green Lantern and the Batman Beyond. So we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get into the haul now. I did pick up a couple of different stuff from Target. I did order some stuff from a different toy store, and from Walmart as well. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the Walmart stuff because it's a pretty interesting story. So, in one of my other updates, I talked about how I had pre-ordered 2 of these gold label Batman designed by McFarlane. And when they finally sent my order, they only sent me 1 because they said something like supply didn't allow for them to send 2. So I gladly accepted my 1, but I did go onto the Walmart website and I put where it says like restock alert. So like when they restock it, they'll send you an alert. And I had actually done this before on, I forget what figure it was, but they never sent me a message. And then when they did send it to me, it took them a while, let's say, but then when they did send it to me, I went and looked, and it was restocked, but like through another store, and it was like really out, like a high price. So they had raised the price, so I like just said, oh well, screw it. But surprisingly this time they did send me the alert, and as soon as I went to the Walmart website, they had them there for $19.99. So I got 2 just to see if, you know, I would have took 1, but I was like curious to see if they would send me the 2. And actually they did. They sent me the 2. So I got these for around $40 because of the free shipping. And 1 will be going to my complete mint tin box McFarlane wall that I'm building. and I'll be opening one to customize because I have some ideas of some stuff I want to do with the goggles and some other little stuff. Those annoying blades that he has on his hip, I want to take those off. So I do have my one that's unaltered original release. It's right there on the shelf, but now I'm gonna have another one to mess around with. So that was pretty cool pickups. They're selling these pretty much for like $35 on the secondary market. So I ended up getting two for about the same price. So that was pretty cool. Now let's move on to out in the wild. Now I did go to a Target and I ended up finding two of the Damien Robins and then two of the Drowned. But I had already ordered a set from the toy company that I ordered from. But I couldn't resist. So I ended up picking one for my in-box collection and then one to customize. And then the one from the that I ordered will be for the shelf, like the original release, right? So that was pretty cool that I found these because I don't usually find a lot of stuff out in the wild. And I gave up hunting like hardcore a long time ago. I usually get a lot of my stuff online. Reason being because I noticed that as many times as I go into the stores and I don't find anything, it's like a big letdown and a waste of gas and a waste of time. So I just stopped doing that. So when I do go to a store, it's like usually like on the way, or if it's not, I don't go out of my way to do it. It's just like a random stop and I'll go in there and see what they have. But surprisingly, it was pretty cool. And I did end up finding also two of the Drowned. So with my third one, I'll have one to keep in box, one to customize, and one for the shelf. The customized one will be going up here with my Dark Knights up here on top. But I have never, I haven't taken a really good look at her, and I really want to. So I can't wait to get past the Bane wave so that I could start opening up these. It'll be pretty cool. Now we'll go ahead and get to the toy store I ordered from. Now, I ordered this from Clark Toys. Now, I actually order from like a lot of different places. I've even ordered from FYE. Surprisingly, sometimes they have the figures that a lot of people don't have anymore. And then, but their choices are really limited. But I decided to pick these figures and order them from Clark, and actually it was a really good experience. So if you guys ever want to order besides from the main places, check these guys out. It came in a week, so that was pretty cool. And now I have the figures to open up. So I'll just go randomly through here. I did get two Red Sun Supermans. Now, the reason I only picked up two of these is because I didn't have any thoughts like on a customized version of this. So I'm just going to have one for my unopened collection and then one for the shelf. If later on I decide that, oh, you know what, there is like some things I want to do to customize, then I'll just order one later on. It's not a big deal. But these were nicely priced and they look pretty good. They're not damaged or anything, so that's always nice. So these will be going to the collection. And then, like I said, I did pick up also a Drowned and a Damien. And like I said, this is usually I get 3 of each figure, if not 2. But pretty cool to get them for a reasonable price. And then finally, I picked up 2 Heavy Metal Batman. Now, really anticipating these ones. I'm really happy to pick these up. Now, I had already picked up 2 of the Bat Cycles, so I'm ready to crack one open and have one figure with the Bat Cycle, which is going to be pretty cool. I'll be reviewing those two together at the same time. And then of course one will be for my unopened collection. But this Batman looks really cool. Really like my kind of style of stuff. And like I said before, McFarlane loves making this stuff like with chains and spikes and all that. It's like right up his alley. So these are, they have a lot of attention to detail and stuff like that. So really happy to finally pick these up, and got a lot of figures to be reviewing for the next couple weeks. So, and I did order on eBay another Thomas Wayne Batman. Now, I already have one on my shelf, and I already have one on my unopened wall, but I wanted one to customize. So I think I paid like $26 or $28, something like that. So it wasn't too bad. I didn't have to go out looking for them. And actually, a lot of times I go to the stores and all this time people have been finding figures out in the wild. I have yet to see a Robin Crow or what was the other one? Or an infected Superman. I have yet to see those out in the wild at all. So if I would have never ordered them, I would still be waiting, thinking that I was gonna find one in the store. And here in Texas, I don't know if it just like they don't. By the time they get here, it's like too late, or I don't know what the deal is. But I just really rely more on ordering my figures. It's just a lot easier, and altogether, actually, it's cost me less frustration and less stress. So. Really happy to get this one. I'm going to crack them open and start customizing them or repainting them. I always thought his head was like sitting kind of low on his body. So I was really curious to pop off his head and see if it looks better, like just a couple of millimeters higher than what it is. Also, the 5 o'clock shadow, I want to work on it and make it look a little bit more grittier. So pretty cool. Added to the collection. Now we'll get to my classic stuff, which is, of course, here is my complete loose DC Universe Classics All the Waves collection. I have my signature series and select sculpts up there on top, and my Mattel is up there. I have it all in here in my office, but I always try and pick up at least a couple of DCUC and anything that I need to pick up. Now I'm gonna start collecting the collect to connect figures from All the Waves. I do have some, and in fact I have more of the more expensive ones, but it's gonna be because the collect to build figures from DCUC on an average, they're like between at least $50 to $100. So I'll just go slowly and go one by one and just start knocking them out until I have them all. Finally, when I have them all, I'll show you. In here in this door, I actually have the ones that I already have, but one day I'll make a video showing all that stuff off. But I do need to start picking up some of those collect to build figures. Now, one thing I did pick up is I picked up this Mattel Nightwing. Reason being because I actually already have this. I actually have two. I have one on the wall unopened, and then I have one up here on my shelf. But the thing is, I dropped something on it one time, and I tried to wipe it, and it like kind of damaged it. So I'm actually gonna use this one, which is a really nice figure actually from Mattel. No pinholes in the boots and the knees. I mean, these are really nice looking figures. They were like hit and miss, but this is a really nice Nightwing figure. So what I'm gonna do is this will replace the one that I put the dot on, and then that one I'm gonna actually do a custom red, because they only released this version. They never released any other colors or anything. So I'm gonna do a custom red one. And these never came with the storage for his Screama sticks. So the red one that I do, I'm actually gonna put him the storage so he could put his sticks in there. I also got the sticks with this guy. So Pretty cool. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Now this is an awesome figure I've been wanting to pick up. Now, I originally had the black version of this. Bane from the Select Scope or the DC Superheroes. I originally had the black version, but I ended up customizing it because a lot of people complained about how his legs were really short and you can't really move him. Like that pose that he's in, that's pretty much it. So I ended up taking one of those black ones that I had and I customized the legs to give him like a taller stance. And I made this a couple years ago, so I was always like happy I had made this custom. I also changed like his mask color was like more silver, and I made it more white like the comic version. And even though I'm happy that I made this custom, I kind of miss my Select Scope, the original. So eventually I'm gonna hunt down one of those black ones so I could re-add it to my collection. But I did pick up this one. Now he did cost me $28, which is why I picked him up, because that's pretty cheap for this figure. I was just, checking on eBay and he just popped up and I just snatched him up right away. And the cool part is he came with his little osito accessory, and I never really owned this, so now I do. But of course I love Bane. Bane's one of my favorite characters, villains, and he's gonna go up there on the top shelf with his Select Scope brothers. So I'm pretty happy to get this guy. This is the variant with the camouflage pants, which is a lot rarer than the black one. The black one, you see him come up a lot, but this one is, you don't ever see him coming up for that cheap, so I had to pick him up. So pretty cool. Add that one to the collection. And the final thing I picked up is what I was talking about, is these Collect to Connect figures from DC Universe Classics. Now this is Necron. He is from the final wave 20 of DC Universe Classics. In the original shots where they were going to release this wave, they showed him with his scythe. But when they actually released them, they didn't release them with the scythe. So a lot of people would take the DC Direct Necron scythe because it was pretty big, and they would give it to this guy and take it away from the DC Direct figure. But they never actually released it in the line. So he just comes like this by himself. Really happy to get him. I actually paid like $64 for him. Like I said before, these are really expensive on the secondary market. So whenever I see them for $50-$60, I try and jump on them so I could get my whole complete collection. I really like him. He looks pretty cool. This is even more my style. This is like what I like. And I was thinking that I might end up taking one of these scythes and giving it to this guy just so he could have something to hold. So I'll probably end up doing that. But really happy to pick this guy up. He's pretty big. As you can see, he's even bigger than my custom Bane. Look at that. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. Stay safe out there. Stay collecting. And I will see you on the next one.